All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know set me if it go flee. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi hide like a thief in the night. Me I fi get out of sight. Me I fi take away myself. I fi take away myself. I fi utilize I wings. Shorty I cleave her I said, yeah. I find you very hard to resist. With this relationship I'm gonna desist. But how can I face you when all I wanna do is just taste you? I know you think I play me, I play, but soon you're gonna see the light of day. Just relax, don't move an inch. I'll be gone in a pinch. May I feel take away myself. May I feel take away myself. May I feel hide like a thief in the night. May I feel get out of sight. May I feel take away myself. Take away myself. I have to utilize I will. Shorty, I a clean pair of heels. I said, been there, done that, don't need it again, yeah. I'm not a masochist who won't play your game, yeah. To how you move, you have me way to the core. Sayonara, the hot girl gone through the door. Take away ourselves. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. You say no good body, girl, let me take me ourselves. Take me ourselves. No good body, girl, let me take me
Hi, this is Pam Hall, and I'm inviting you to hang out with Flavius and Franco on the Real Stuff podcast. They're such great company.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo. The world. Yeah, man. Them put us on quarantine. So we see if it in a guaranteed. Them of us where they want us to be. Everything them say we agree. Them of us on quarantine. We see if it in a guaranteed. Them want we take the vaccine. Is it for COVID-19? Sight them from a distance. Them oppose them a shake on. Them want control population. Them have a plan in hand for the next generation. Have them station. The elders won't be here for too long. I know you want the cure, but yet you're gonna kill some more. You want your plan for work for sure. Them say, turn on your yard, knock on my door. Them put us on quarantine. So we see if it in a guaranteed. Them of us where they want us to be. Everything them say we agree. Them of us on quarantine. We see if it in a guaranteed. Them want we take the vaccine. Is it for COVID-19? Don't you be afraid, want you to prepare. Hold your social space, keep it clean and place. Mask over your face, wash your one them straight. Rather be in space, cause around your son not safe. And a nature illness, at them go business. Want some answers from the populace who invent this apocalypse. It's in the movies, what them next movies, and what the world gonna be. Them put us on quarantine, so we safe it in a guaranteed. Them of us where they want us to be. Everything them say we agree. Them of us on quarantine, we safe it in a guaranteed. Them want we take the vaccine. Is it for COVID-19? Sight them from a distance. Them oppose them a shake on. Them want control population. Them have a plan in hand for the next generation. Have them stationed. The elders won't be here for too long. I know you have the cure, but yet you're gonna kill some more. You want to plan for work for sure. Them set turn on your yard, knock on my door. Them put us on quarantine, so we safe it in a guaranteed. Them of us where they want us to be. Everything else that we agree. Them of us on quarantine, we safe it in a guaranteed. Them want we take the vaccine. Is it for COVID-19?
Hey, back, bro. Greetings, kings and queens. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. This is Franco along with
Flavius. Good morning.
and we're coming to you live and direct. Man, I have some news. Since you hear the song in the background, quarantine. If I ever tell you, Florida, the state of Florida, has broken the 1 day infection. The record was held by New York and California in the 11,000 people infected in 1 day. Florida now is 15,300 yesterday alone. And I'm telling you, it gets serious and serious. Because now they must say, boy, hospital beds are overcrowded. They just get another 120,000, what you call it, ventilators. And maybe the next 2 weeks or so, the death toll could be on the rise as well. So, I guess we have to brace ourselves, you know?
Yep.
And do it step by step. Right now, remember last week we were talking, and I was saying possibly every American infected, but it's just a matter of time for them to find out. Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know if they're going to put you on a quarantine again or what, but individually, my suggestion is everyone for go get tested.
Yeah.
Including myself, you know, because even though, you know, we don't know who bring it, we don't know what it, you know, who pass it off.
Yeah.
And it could be anybody.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
Anybody right now. What's happening in your neck of the woods?
Well, we have sunshine and all that, and good morning all of you listeners. Good morning everybody. I think a lot of things are happening, you know. One of them again talk about in the video this morning is a very serious thing. That probably start to carry over to the real current, but serious things happening. And one of the major ones is that the government is saying that they're going to stop testing at the airport now. So the resources can't manage it.
Because they're taking too much flights.
But apart from that, you know, your elevation in cases
Mm-hmm.
to affecting our testing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
we have test kits to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's holding on to them for themselves.
Yeah.
So we are short of test kits, and then we have a backlog at that. I think the head of the health ministry, senior medical officer, saying that we are 2 weeks behind.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have come Jamaica, and when it's up and then leave and gone back home, they still don't get the result.
Mm-hmm. And
So
would you believe them have some 1 day result? But you have to pay.
oh yeah.
You have to pay for those.
No, but we have those machines now,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just volume. We don't have enough of them.
Mm-hmm.
And ordinary labs can't test because we have to be up to we have to have the equipment. So we are in limbo really.
Yeah.
So you don't know who's on the just came in on a plane and who's walking around carrying the virus. So for the most part, you try and stay at home and you wear a mask and you keep far from everybody, no matter who it is.
I know you have some doubters out there still, and whether them like it or not, or whether them believe it or not, because there was a guy that said went to a COVID party because these people are doubters who said it's not an infection, it's just government hoax and media, and he got infected, and guess what happened to him? He's a dead man now.
Died?
Yeah,
Died, yeah.
before he died,
Yeah.
him make an appeal
Mm-hmm.
people in a Texas, or Arizona, I think, in Arizona, say this thing is for real, so you got to take it serious.
Yeah,
And
but
I'm
lots
like,
of Jamaicans out there who say gone and it never come and this and that and they just walk up and down and
yeah,
all me do is keep far from them.
listen me, man.
So that's all I can do.
I know enough brethren who say, boy, some media, not even media, some government, this and government that. Boss, listen me. Whether the government them. Me know of the government that's two things, and you know of it too. Every one of them knows. Them have them good and them have them bad. And if they want to send a message, then we find ways and means to do it. You hear me? Top of the morning, Pabby. Top of the morning, Pabby. Then we find ways and means to put out things so that, this is a worldwide thing.
Yeah. It's a worldwide death sentence, so
worldwide.
we can't. But it is hoax because I don't know what hoax can make so many people die, and these people dying are for real.
Hey, we have to face reality. You hear me? Me not tell the man, say, boy, I not know out there. Me know it out there.
Of course, it's out
You
there.
go outside, you can feel the difference. You understand me? Your throat feel a different way.
I don't have any doubt about it.
Let them go on and think something nothing out there.
It's something that makes you scared.
Of course,
This is
man.
no joke. This is no joke.
All we have to do is build our immune system. That's what we can do.
Yeah, keep it up.
Yeah, keep it up.
Yeah.
Because me know my sister catch it and me know say, and no doubt. You understand me? And she tell me what it felt like. I know other people who catch it and them tell me what it felt like, and I say, trust me, do your best.
It's nice.
Take all of your own remedy where you can take and beef up your structure.
Yeah.
Keep your immune system up.
That's it.
And remove as much mucus out of your system as you can. You understand me? Yeah, man. Dangerous thing I go on. In the news as well, the West Indies. West Indies won the test match.
First test, yes, the first test
against England.
Yes.
the one by 4 wickets.
Yeah.
And the
Good performer.
oh
Very good
yeah,
performer.
oh yes. And the man of the
Mm-hmm.
match was
Jeremy.
Shannon Gabriel
Oh,
from West Indies.
Gabriel. Yeah,
Yes,
he took 9 wickets. Yes,
9 wickets. So that's
Mhm.
a plus right there. So for
Yeah.
West Indies, so the Caribbean is on the move.
Yes, excellent.
Something good going on for us right there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go into the did you know, but before make we just give people a little more of this music. Quarantine from the artist Craig Edis. Wanna big up to Super Ninja for being on the show last Friday, and all them
Yeah.
the crew of St. Thomas, Jamaica. St. Thomas right now is one of the music factory at Jamaica.
Yeah.
We can say that as without a doubt. So more quarantine, and to all the people of St. Mary, especially my family, them in Nato Bay. Big up to the Love family.
For the next generation, have them station. The elders won't be here for too long. I know you have the cure, but yet you're gonna get some more. You want to plan for work for sure. Them set down on your yard, knock on my door. Them put us on quarantine, so we see if it in a guaranteed. Them of us where they want us to be. Everything else that we agree. Them of us on quarantine, we see if it in a guaranteed. Them want we take the vaccine. Is it for COVID-19?
Yeah, each and every morning, Flavius give us a famous did you know. Go through Flavius.
Morning, listeners. Okay, this is a very, very current did you know. But I think it's very important. It has been going on apparently for a very long time, to my mind anyway. And I would like to involve our listeners today. And what I would like them to do is to text in or go in the chat room and tell us if what I'm about to tell you is happening where you are. Because this is serious business. Okay, let's go. Did you know that in the past week, the Jamaica Public Service Company, which is our light and power company in Jamaica, and the National Water Commission, which is the water company in Jamaica, have both admitted, this is not speculation anymore, they have admitted to be adding charges on paying customers' bills. And these charges are from the theft of light and the theft of water. They're not catching the thieves and punishing the thieves. What they're doing, they are punishing paying customers. So they put something on your bill. Whatever bill you get, it is elevated. Now, apart from that you are paying more, the major point in this whole episode is that the company has been doing this under disguise. They have not told us that they are doing that. And there are no line items on the bill that says this come from proceeds of the stealing of the commodity. They give us a figure and basically telling us that is what you use, that is what you owe. When that is not so. What we owe is the amount we are paying minus what was added on, a figure that we do not know. And most people, I think, did not know at all that this was happening. But some of us did. Okay, so there's a big protest last week at the head office of JPS, and if I read some placards, it said, JPS do not care, they are out of control, refuse to, I can't read all of that. Okay, you have another post that says, JPS, we are not paying for no more thief in light. And then one says, just plain stealing. I mean, JPS is stealing from us. Okay. Now, JPS Senior Vice President for Customer Service, Ramsey McDonald, told journalists that the company was sorry about the breakdown in relationship with customers and said it was doing everything possible to give them support in difficult and trying times. Really now. The Office of Utilities Regulations, OUR, announced last month that it was investigating complaints by JPS customers about receiving high electricity bills since March. And bills have been doubled and tripled since COVID because they are saying, oh, everybody's at home now, so they must be burning. I thought that they just read the meter and, charge you for what is on the meter. No supposition that you're burning more because you can't go to work. I don't know. Customs have complained that they have seen drastic spikes in their bills, even though they did not increase consumption, said the OUR. So I think this is a bad thing. And now the Water Commission is doing the same thing that they admitted to. That any fall, any increase in the consumption because people are stealing water, all that money is put onto paying customers' bills. And I saw a placard, but it's not in the set I'm looking at now, that says JPS does not share their profits with us, but they want any problem they have, they want us to pay for it so they can maintain their profit margin. And people are very, very irate at this time. So, question I'm asking, and what I'm asking our listeners to do, is to tell us if this is only a Jamaican thing, or it happens in the country or space that you are. If this is a normal thing that these companies do all the time. We need to know how widespread this practice is. An important point I have to make here is that these two companies are monopolies. They alone are in charge of light and water. We have no alternative. We cannot turn to the next company because they are the only ones that we have. So you can see how much more difficult this whole thing is. And it needs to be addressed and corrected immediately. I don't know what the courts or the government can do, because stopping it now is great, but it would be nice if we could get back all those money that they have been taking out all these years. Because what they're doing, they are putting the onus on the paying customers to stop the thieves. And you can't do that. We don't, that is putting our lives at risk. The government need to put laws in place, and the company need to find a way of stopping this without us customers putting our lives at risk. Don't make any sense. You might see the person, and you might know some people in your area that is doing it, but keep your mouth shut. That's the best you can do. That's the best you can do. Because even if you report it, the company is not going to do anything. At least that's the reality of the situation. That is what we have come to know and used to. I mean, they come out sometime and they take down wires and all that. But and then the wire goes up back as they leave. So we can't be monitoring that. That is not something that we can be monitoring, especially when the companies put in all those amounts on our bills without letting us know. They are doing all of this, like say, behind closed doors. It just comes on the bill, and your bill is $10,000. So you say, okay, I'll pay it. That's my bill. Then I said, okay, you actually use $6,000, but we're going to add a $4,000 because the people down the road have been using the service and not paying. Nothing like that. No heads up of what they are doing. They just do it and have us believe that they are charging us for what we had actually used. I think that is very, very bad.
So
and
them not read meters no more?
Yes, they read the meters.
Mm-hmm.
But when they get the meter reading, they add a value to how much you must pay.
Mm.
What they do, they know exactly how much current is used. So when they read the meters, they add up all of that and they subtract it from the total amount that has been used. So the extra amount that is used by thieves, they just divide that up and just drop it onto everybody's bill. And that can't be right.
Okay.
So we are subsidizing them and subsidizing the people who don't want to pay.
I see.
Yeah. So every month your bill goes up. And not to mention that somebody went and signed some contract for LNG that says even if the other petroleum goes down to zero, which it did the other day, we can't benefit from it. A lot of bad things. We need to straighten this thing out. We need to be able to get the best prices for the oil or natural gas that we use, so we can keep the prices down to the Jamaica country.
I see.
And that's going to cause a serious problem. I mean, few people came out and demonstrated, but it probably soon reach, if nothing is done now, we can reach the whole island. Everybody going to protest.
And that way, I saw it for though, reach the whole island and make everybody go out, go protest.
Yeah, hopefully they can correct it before that happens, because when that happens, there's a lot of destruction going to happen if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
When people protest, there's a lot of things going to happen.
Well, so sometimes you have to stop them, You have to get
What's happening?
You have to get the massive more time for go out, go protest,
Let us know what's happening in your neck of the woods. Is this something that,
I know when
if you don't know of it, you can check it out and see if it's happening.
I know when it hit the summer, right? People burn a lot of AC. So this thing, sometimes your bill can go up.
Yeah, but you remember I said in Jamaica, not a lot of people have AC equipment.
Yeah, I know that.
A lot of people can't afford AC. They might have a little fan. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I tell you from our side. You ask me what goes to me, I give from our side. So when it hit the summer, people tend to burn a lot of AC. So if your bill used to be $60, you might get a bill of $120. You understand me? And sometimes it all depends on the day. Like today, them predict today to be going to be one of the hottest day. We're going up in about 97 because some states going to hit like 100 and mash.
Yeah.
So, I mean, things like this, people brace themselves because them turn on them AC. Put it that way. Them turn on them AC. So if your bill is a $60 a month, depending upon where you burn, you might end up at the end of the month to pay more than $60. That's what I know about. I know Jamaica is different.
That's a seasonal thing, but people steal lights every day. So our thing would be a year-round thing.
And that now go stop a yard. It now go stop for now.
No, they have to find a way to deal with it.
Hey, is a sunny island? We have to set up more solar panels.
Yeah, but we need
Another
we need
source of energy, you know?
90% of our energy should be from renewables.
Yeah, man, we need another source of energy.
And,
So
and then the bill can go down, way down.
there's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work to be done. Yeah. So that's about it for now.
But did you know? Yes.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to play a video today. Yeah, what are they doing
Okay.
when it comes to the festival songs them. So I'm going to play a video today. And
But I'm not looking at the video. I just want to hear the song.
you'll hear the song. You're going to hear the song. So here's the song, the festival song from the artist Sugar, One People.
Go in this world. Once we identify ourselves as Jamaicans, everybody get crazy. They all want to hear us chat some patois like Miss Lou. Hey, so let's wave the black, the green, and the gold. Jamaica, one people, oh, one country, oh, hey, spreading love everywhere we go. Hey, one people, oh, one country, oh. On the riverside, tropical bliss. I love how the kids them a play. I wish we could all be like children one day, dancing and splashing and holding hands. No matter your color nor where you're from, you're welcome to vacate on my island. Cause out coming we are one help me sing now. Whoa, let me see you light it up. Whoa. People, oh, one country, oh, hey, spreading love everywhere we go. Hey, one people, oh, one country, oh, hey, spreading love everywhere we go. Alright, come to Jamaica, the land of beauty, where life on the beach feels like a movie. Take a trip, touchdown if you're feeling groovy. We party every day, cause we love the party. We will rise above the hardest of the times. Hey, even though sometimes the hills are hard to climb, let your light shine. Oh, let me see you light it up. Oh, we are diamonds in the rough. Oh, voices so loud can't be denied. Across the world, our lights still shine. Together we are one people. Oh, one country, oh, hey, spreading love everywhere we go. Hey, one people, oh, one country, oh, hey, spreading love everywhere we go. Nothing to me like me yard. People are flying for the niceness. On the riverside, tropical bliss. I love how the kids them a play. I wish we could all be like kids for one day. Put the women from cassava. Me a kid with me a man banana. And when you hear me say watch ya, just know say you learn one people, oh, one country, oh, hey, spreading love everywhere we go. Hey, one people, oh, one country, oh, hey, spreading love everywhere we go. Hey, one people, oh, one country, oh, hey, spreading love everywhere we go. Hey, one people, oh, one country, oh, hey, spreading love everywhere we go. One people, one country, only one, love everywhere we go.
All right, that was Sugar, One People. That's one of the festival songs. 10 festival songs for this year competition. And yesterday they started. They did like a virtual concert with all the artists performing, and the voting started yesterday as well. So you have up until July 26th. Text and to the song or the artist that you love, you like to win. It's 10 of them. So.
Franco.
Yeah, got you.
You want to hear my view?
Yeah, man.
My view. They should cancel the competition for this year. I'm blaming it on COVID. We'll come back next year.
That's a good one.
Okay, but one of the things, Flavor, you must also give the listeners a reason for your suggestion.
Yeah, man.
So
but I have been giving it.
Yeah, it's been listening to some of the songs.
The songs are the ones I've listened so far are way below par. A lot of work has not been put into them. They don't have the right beat, and all of them that I've listened are poorly arranged. Arrangement let them down. But in the one this morning, it was awful. Really. Arrangement, man. There's no proper arrangement. There's no flow.
Well, I was speaking to one of the contestants this morning. He called me personally to ask me if I saw that thing that you're talking about, where they all appear in concert. And I said to him, no. And what I've done is I pointed out 4 of the other 3 contestants that I think that have a vibe, because a festival song means jubilation, it means happiness, and even if you don't remember the content of the song, the bridge or we call it chorus must always linger on in the head. And in my opinion, it's only 4 that carry that kind of jubilation. The rest doesn't.
Well, that's one of them for me. I like that one. One people.
Yeah.
So, I will vote for that one. The rest, we're going to play the rest between now and the 26th. So everybody.
Norris man have a good vibe. This is my opinion.
Yeah,
Norris man have a good vibe. Norris man, right. Norris man.
Extra big, nobody either.
Yes. And Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan too. Dance.
Right, and Shakina.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I don't like Bojo song, and he's the only one that doesn't have a video out.
Yeah, the only one, and it's the video I just played because I got the list last night. They sent it to me, and I was able to download all the videos, and I said I'm going to make sure every day I play one of
yeah, two songs remind me of when we were going to World Cup.
Yeah. The video is good. It's a good video, but the song don't hit me either. I was expecting Toots to hit me.
No, he should have gone back in these glory days. Yeah, but those are the 3. Sugar song again. Don't grab me.
I think it going to win.
4, man. It's 4.
I think it going to win.
What?
Sugar song. I think it going to win. The most upbeat.
Cancel it before that time comes, please.
Listen me. I would choose that over what name the astronaut songs where them win with. I want a woman. I would choose this over it anytime. To me, back then, that should have never won. But
based on the lyrics.
But it's what you know what the good thing. You know what the thing is. Is the crowd that vote for the thing. Let me know, Flavius.
Well, if you're saying, Franco, saying, the astronaut song, I want a woman, should never win. Then we should say Cherry or Baby should never win either.
Oh yes, I agree with that too. And there's other songs in that package. But to me, out of all of them songs that we never have anything about festivity, that was one of the worst songs. I want
Yeah.
woman. You know my opinion on that, Teddy. You see, the year they should have won the year and they didn't win, and I think they made up for it by giving them it. That's my thought on it.
Franco. The problem we have, is that we judging lyrics as opposed to the sound.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like the lyrics of I want, but the sound and the arrangement is far better than any one of them this year. Leave out the lyrics. Just listen to the song, the sound, the melody. Far, far better, much better arranged than any of them this year.
Well, I mean, I agree with you with that. I agree with you with that one day.
Well, like everything else is debatable. And the thing about it, Franco, we're talking about taste, but sometimes, like you mentioned, is that the masses' taste is not your taste.
Yep. Yeah, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's our festival song. And we move on. I don't want what happened last week happen this week. So what is it that you want to touch on? Because there's something that I want to touch on. The first thing I want to touch on
Go ahead.
is that recently the Prime Minister was at a function where he was handing over some houses in and he made a statement that I think is more divisive than coming about. And I'm not going to quote you verbatim to say, but what he was saying that Michael Manley era helped to damage the progress and the development of the country. And it carry a backlash because a lot of persons, as a post-independent prime minister, he had the opportunity to work collectively to bring about change and bring about development. But his statement seems to be divisive in the old politics of things. And let us bring everybody to the table, in my opinion, and it is not partisan. What I'm saying, between 1962 to 1972, when Michael Manley came to power, and he put in some policies in place, because of those policies, today we are enjoying the legacy of those policies.
Absolutely.
And let us look at a few of them. And we're not going to look at all because everything was
Before you go any further, that was something I have on my list today because I saw a Instagram video clip of Member of Parliament, Miss Lisa Anna.
Yes.
Making some reference some things that I said people need to see this video. I was going to see if I could get the video to play it this morning, but I said I didn't want the program to look too political. You understand me? One-sided.
Yeah.
So now that you're just talking about it, I think maybe that's the statement the Prime Minister made, and she was, showing some examples at what Michael Manley did. So you can go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, it's not political. I don't know. What we are looking at is looking at it to say, here it is. He is the Prime Minister of post-independent. And he is at a point to bring about change and further development. As we said, he is able to stand on the shoulders of great men who have done work in this country and to bring about a change. And the change is that we must not continue on the path of divisive politics. And when he made a statement like that, it's divisive because when you said that he stopped the progress because and some of the policies did not help the development of the country, let us come to the table and be frank. Number one, the United States, we don't have to quote the thing. They did not want another Cuba in the region, and the association with Cuba, they did not want it because Jamaica is seen as the capital of the Caribbean. And so the United States had to have their agent, and let us start the truth. If you know, we don't have to hide it. Edward George Chago was the agent, the inside agent that helped to undermine some of the policy. So we don't have to go. You go on YouTube, and you can see the CIA did say that they were part. They used the same format that they used in Chile against Allende to bring them to their knees. They said it. Nixon said it. Bring them to their knees economically. So this is no hiding. So therefore, all the policies and all his good intention could not go forward. So he's not known to do it. Yes.
Let me just come in here. My father, as you know, was a public health inspector. And in 1980, when the JLP won the government, that after all the austerity and this and that and no food and all that, the amount of warehouses of food he had to dump, food that was in Jamaica that nobody could get to buy because them lock it up in the warehouses until them spoil.
But the CIA said it. They had shipments out in the sea that did not come to shore. They say that they helped to undermine. They were working at the Gleaner. The CIA said that the amount of CIA agent that was in Jamaica for its size. Normally, that amount of person would have been in Africa, in larger countries. So there's no two way about it. So we're not taking no side, but what I'm looking at is, for example, 10 years after independence, the United Nations Education, Scientific, Cultural Organization, UNESCO, said between 15 and above, 50% of the total population could not read and write.
Hey, Flavius.
Yeah.
I was
Hello, are you hearing?
Yeah, okay. We're not gonna say something.
No, I'm back.
Okay. Go ahead, Teddy.
No. The point is that UNESCO said that 50% of the population was illiterate. Now, one thing that underneath the policy of Michael Mann, the government, he introduced Jamal. And Jamal was contagious right across the country, where people had pride and did not deny that they could not read and write. And he galvanized the people, whereas people were volunteer as teachers. So if you're going to bring our country forward, you have to help with education. Education is a way that people make informed decisions. In 1973, he introduced again free education all the way up to university. Prior to that, it was only the elitists that were getting education in this country. Today, 30 odd years after, those persons who were given the free education are the backbone of this country today, who are the professionals, whether they are here in Jamaica or they are gone overseas. So that's the reality.
And he's one of them too.
Right. The other thing is, there were a lot of women in this country who were doing the same job as men and were not equally paid. Right? There were women who were afraid to have children because when they have the children, they were subject to be fired or they were sent home without pay. It's mandatory now today in this country. A woman can have her child and sit home for 90 days and breastfeed that child and be born with that child. because she still be paid while she are at home. So those are reality. If you're going to talk about progress, let us look at that. Today we benefit
No,
from that as a nation. And let us look at the situation that whole the family act together. We realize many children in this country who were born outside of marriage did not have a right. And we know the promiscuous behavior of certain male in this country who had children outside of their matrimonial home. And many of these children were denied the legacy of their fathers. Their name could not be placed on birth certificate. So therefore, if their father died and leave any inheritance, they could not get it. So these are the reality. So if we're going to talk about development and move forward, come on, let us sit at the table and be reasonable that the agent perpetuated certain things that said, no, we don't want that. Because the hard line that Manley was saying, today we are talking about eat what we grow and grow what we eat. That was the legacy of the 70s. When we talk about land lease, too many idle land was left unattended, and we had farmers who were cultivating these land to feed. No, I said it the other day on the program. Whenever you allow somebody to feed, they control you. And we must learn to feed ourselves. Agriculture should be the main focus in this country, not tourism. And we see what happened. No, we are opening the place to tourism, and Europe is saying that they don't want any persons from America, and yet we are going to say, oh, tourism is important. Agriculture is important to us. We can't compete against America in terms of agriculture, because one of the agricultural land, you know what I mean, will make the entire Jamaica. Right? But we have to learn to feed ourselves. That's the most important thing. So the importation cost for food coming into the country should have been slashed. It shouldn't even exist. So my bone of contention is simple this. The statement that the Prime Minister made is more divisive than uplifting. Right? And he should not have made a statement like that. Despite, because he knew, he sat at the feet of Siago, because Siago was his mentor. Right? So it's not that he don't know. He knew what happened during the 70s. They did not want another Cuba in the region. And that's why they also invaded Grenada. So we know the thing. Come on, we're not fools. What they did to Allende in Chile was the same thing that they did in Jamaica. And their statement was, we did not do any scandal nor assassination to bring down the Michael Manley government. The CIA said it. What they did was a textbook thing. The same thing that they did in Chile. So that's my opinion, and I'm not calling politics. I'm just talking what I see, and it's still perpetuated until today. Are you there, Franco?
I'm here.
Yeah, and that's my opinion. You know, it's not a political side. You know, it's part of development, and when people make one mistake, and the same mistake that we made every time when we compare ourselves to Singapore, because Singapore take our model and build their country. You must remember that Singapore was on a totalitarian move. Jamaica had a democratic system. Mm-hmm. So that method could not have been used in Jamaica. We forgot the government that Singapore put in place.
I know
Hello?
Singapore a strive.
No,
Oh yeah.
that's why I am saying, Franco, we had a democratic process. Let us look at the method of government that Singapore put in place. That would not be allowed in Jamaica.
No.
And that's the reason why Singapore were able to achieve what they achieved today. Because what simply happened, the same method that we were using, it was undermined by the USA. Simple as that. The USA did not go into Singapore and disrupt their economy.
They couldn't.
There you go. So when people come making comparison to about, look how Singapore take Jamaica model and did well. Yes, they did well because they choose a government. First of all, you can't spit on the street or even chewing gum in the mouth.
Yeah. I remember a kid went over there and draw some graffiti.
All right.
And then I came up for I think him get spanking before them release him.
There you go. And the United States could not intervene. So when persons are come talking about, look what Singapore today, we were undermined in our development to go forward. Let us call a spade a spade.
Yeah, man. US put a spokes in the wheel.
In 1975, before the 1976 election, when Michael went to visit the United States and speak with Carter, who was then the president, he gave him the assurance that the CIA will not intervene. And again, that was the biggest lie. Come on. There is a book that Manley have written, and it's not in the bookstore in Jamaica. It's only on the campus, and you must be doing political science or one of them too, right? That book called Struggle in the Periphery. I have a copy of that book. And you know the fun thing about it?
Me too.
All right, check it out. I learned about that book in London. I went to my cousin's house who no longer with me, and I saw a copy of it. And I can tell you something. I indulged in that book for the entire day. When I started to read it, I could not put it down until I finished it. And then it captured what happened from 1972 to 1980. It captured all of that. It tell you what Henry Kissinger did.
Ooh, Henry who? Henry who?
All right.
Danger that.
If many people were able to read that book today, they would have understood. So when persons come up to the table and talking their thing about, Jamaica could have gone forward, don't forget, it was undermined. And we're not talking politics. No, when you have a leader who said, look about the welfare of his people, people must learn to feed themselves. As Jamaica was saying, we must take our and make fashion. We turn around and start with self-reliance. Right? Years ago, there was a place on Hanover Street, right in front of Kingston Technical High School, where we were bringing in bus, the chassis of the bus, and we were building the body on the bus, right, for our road. They stopped things like those, right? And so we start now because we were getting aids and grants from the so-called superpower, we become a dumping ground. Everything started to dump down here. So in terms of we now harnessing our skills and learn to be an entrepreneur and develop our country, no, it either send it down there. So they dump food down here. So our agricultural space could not survive, and many other things. Let's call a spade, right? Both sides, because of their cronyism and their nepotism and the corruption, they rape the country, right? And the policies, let us be frank, the policies of the PMP in the 70s is not the policy today. Everybody becomes selfish and greed by both political parties. People of service who help this country die a pauper, right? Because the earlier politician in this country put country before self. When you have a minister who spend almost millions of dollars for birthday cake, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? He was not considering the people. You shouldn't even say, no, I am not going to do it, no matter how much you're going to surprise. You can't do that. Mm-hmm. Do that thing that we're talking about. And the reason why nepotism and cronyism continue in this day, because both sides will not allow it to become a law. And that's the reason why they get away with it. They put their friends and everything because people have made political contributions, so therefore that's their kickback. Yesterday in the Gleaner, Reverend Twait said many a time when things to be done, they come and ask them if they know any contractor. It shouldn't be that case. You shouldn't be asking PMP or JLP MP if you're going to do something if you know any contractors. Mm-hmm. Contractors are supposed to be independent to carry out the work on the behalf of the people in this country. The politician and the political system forgot that they are servants, not masters. And they're behaving like masters all these years. Let us look at it. They're behaving like masters and not servants. So they're not going to put in law against nepotism and cronyism.
Right, man.
And they know that. So when I look at my country, that could have been far developed, you know, and because of the greed and the selfishness, we are where we are today. And then you come and make a statement and put the blame at the feet of a former leader with a vision. And what have you done to make that we don't repeat what you said that was not done during? What have you done? Instead of you say that let us move forward, you continue on the path of divisiveness. That is my bone of contention. That is all I'm saying. And it is no politics.
Send him a copy of the book. Struggle of the Prairie Fire.
Yeah, man.
Send him a copy, man.
But for all I know, it might have one already.
Will him have one? Yes or no? But what I'm saying is a post-independent prime minister.
You
right?
need to read
and so the hill that his predecessors have created. What I'm saying is an opportune time now for him to say make a change. It's generational change. That's what I am saying. You have the opportunity to make the wrong right. But you stood on the path of divisiveness, continuing divisiveness. Mm-hmm. That utterance should not have come from him.
You know, when I was
and he knows.
When I was listening to the video for the achievement that Lisa Anna mentioned about the educational system, and you just mentioned it too, how many Jamaicans who were not even in the elite benefited by going to college and universities that wasn't available for them at the time.
No, but let us look at it. It was 10 years.
Yeah, another thing, a child born out of wedlock was considered a bastard, and that was changed. No bastard no day again. And mention also the maternity leave and the equal pay for women.
What have happened again?
But one of the thing that
No, before we move on, Franco. The Family Act that established the family court in this country. A lot of persons don't understand what took place, you know. A lot of male become irresponsibility of their day, and the Family Act was being developed to say, if you father a child, you are responsible, and it's a criminal charge, and that's why the family court. So you just go to, you don't even have to talk to the man enough. You go to the family court and they will redress the situation. That's what came out of the family court. So as a male, you cannot stray away from your responsibility.
True.
And they're taking the money from either your salary or your unpaid, and the mother come and pick it up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, another thing that was mentioned, and that I know, to me, that was a significant changes for a lot of people getting housing. The housing trust, the national housing trust.
Remember the housing trust came from the San
Accord, yeah.
Right, Accord, right. Mali was on a visit to Venezuela, and he saw that model, and he brought it back to Jamaica. Because remember, to get a house years ago, you had to go to the bank. Again, a lot of Jamaicans were unbankable. So that was the establishment of the National Housing Trust. Recently, they did a survey and asked the populace of the country. Are you hearing me, Franco?
Yeah, man, may I hear you.
Yeah, they did a survey and they were looking at the statutory deduction that had been taken from your salary, which is the income tax, education tax, NIS, National Insurance Scheme, which is somewhat similar to Social Security, and housing trust. And they were saying which one should be taken out that people not interested in. Everybody said income tax, because income tax was going too much in terms of yourself. And they break down the rest. And housing trust was the number one thing that people say that they will continue to pay. There are persons in this country who are not gainfully employed with an organization, but they made their contribution to the housing trust as a self-employed person. Do you understand that?
Okay.
So it goes to show that their hope and dream and ambition to own a house, they will make their contribution to that scheme. Right? And let us be reasonable. A lot of persons who are homeowners today could not have achieved that if the housing trust was not wrong.
True thing that. And even now you can activate your account if you had stop paying into the system.
But there are persons in the United States, Franco, who still paying their contribution, although they are not in the country.
That's what I tell you. You can activate it if you were, if you had left the country and you want to be a part of the system, so you can get a house again. You can do that, which is good. A good move that.
You see, one of the things I've heard Mandy said, and it stood with me all those years, that on the issue of housing. It's one of the great pride when a man can come home to his castle with his children and his wife and have a roof over his head.
Yeah.
and can go into his kitchen, because remember, many of the houses were outside toilets and kitchen in this country. And when you can come home and have the pride and dignity to sit in your bathroom without being disturbed by another tenant, it gives you great pride and joy. So home ownership is one of the things that I think the administration did leave their legacy. And I think it was so fitting and right when they renamed the National Housing Trust Michael Manley Building. And nobody else could have gotten their name attached to that building. Because with all fairness, he was the one who makes sure that Jamaica had a right to have a home. So I'm just disappointed, and I've said it, and I'm not politicizing the thing, but what I'm saying that, and I said over and over again, Andrew Holness as a post-independent.
I want you to explain to a guest in the chat room that he's saying that the housing was given to specific political garrison people, not everyone. Some people.
Hold on. No, hold on. Flavors. No, what you do, you inform people, give people information. You argue on fact, not emotion.
Yes, I want you to explain to him how that was working. Yeah.
Okay, there is certain political scheme, and that's a given across the country. All right. Take for example, in Trenchtown, and they call Rima. You have Wilton Hill. His political street name, what they call him, Dirty Shot. Right? Those were just remember it started out, with Tiago, with Tibalino. Let's call a spade. Right? And so they put these housing scheme within certain areas, as they call guarantee vote. Right? That is nothing to do with the housing trust.
Okay.
Right? Those are schemes that were set out early on politically. Right? Housing trust now scheme is spreading across the entire country. So yes, we're not going to deny that certain schemes did not set up for political reason, because take, for example, you have Seaview Gardens right now in Kingston that is set up within they call it industrial belt of the city. One of the things that Seaview Garden constantly having problem with is sewage.
Okay.
Because they put up this housing scheme and they did not put a sewage plant to take the sewage out of the community. So it back up on the street, and people complain for months, for years, about the sewage situation. Because number one, they should never have put a housing scheme inside that industrial belt. Right? The other scheme that people were talking about, and it's non-political, was the land at Bellevue. Right? Now, Bellevue is a mental hospital that have a good acreage of land. And they put a housing scheme there and call it Manley Meadows, named after Michael Manley, because he was also the MP one at a time for that area. Right? Yes, people benefit from it, but it is not being seen as a political thing, because you're talking about housing solution for people, and that's what is important. Right? When you can have,
I know people when the Waterford development was going on, the same housing trust fit people into that community as well.
You must remember the Waterford situation started out when there were upheaval of crime within the Jonestown and the Rosetown era,
Kingston era.
the West Kingston, and people started to fled. Because that housing scheme was part of the idea that Matalan sold to the government. Because remember, said the Matalan were responsible for the waterfront, right? And the housing scheme over in Portmore. What they were saying to the government, give us the land and we will put up housing there. As far as they're concerned, they were not thinking about social amenities. They were not thinking about the school, the libraries, the play area. If you look at the first set of housing across Portmore, that's the reason why the Portmore houses are so hot, because they did not think about putting planting trees. Because if you were able to plant trees from those times to now, they would have become mature plants that give shade, that give comfort. Look at it from a year-old point of view. It's like a concrete, as they call a concrete jungle. And it's now they start thinking about putting out plants there and putting in social amenities. It wasn't there. As far as the concerned, put up the houses and let people move in.
Here's another one for you, Teddy. Somebody mentioned you also had site and services houses.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's that site?
And the site and there were several. There was the housing agency of Jamaica. You have Pride, because you see, one of the things that you must remember, is that the housing have to be targeted to the specific person. Target we call income based. Some of the houses have expansion, some don't. Because then when you give to certain people who can't afford to expand, then all they need is a roof over their head. So Operation Pride that was run, that caused Mr. Blight to lose, to have to be resigned, right? Site and service was the next one. No, so you have to look at it from a marketing point of view.
Franco.
I'm listening.
What's the question about sites and services? What's the question?
No, it's not a question.
No, they were saying that there was a scheme. There was a scheme named site and service.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work there. So if they have a question, I probably can answer.
What you need to tell them is how it works, Flavius.
Site and services was a starter scheme where the government would build the foundation of the scheme, the house, a basic room and kitchen and bathroom and whatever, and then they help the persons there to continue to add to the houses, and to get what they want. But it was a starter system.
So therefore the price.
Wasn't Nannyville Bill like that too?
Nannyville is one of them, yeah.
Nannyville Bill like that, I remember.
Yeah, Nannyville is one of them.
One of the things that kind of scheme, that you have to be a man. And somebody put their effort and they are part of it. They were not given a housing. They have more pride and joy and dignity in protecting that house.
True.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when I know I do not have the capital to start, and I've been given some capital and then given some assistance, the pride that I have is that when it's finished, it is mine. It's not given to me. I put my sweat equity into this. So I'm not going to destroy.
That's true. That's true. There are houses in the US that this organization named Habitat for Humanity bill.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. You have to put in equity sweat as well. That's like, a deposit.
The science and services thing was set up on a loan system,
Flavor, say to the guests who are in the chat room.
Yeah, man. They don't know.
Yeah, them are here because them are respond to some of the
Yeah, what I'm saying, it's on a loan basis. They give you the starter, and they also help you with material. But it's something you have to pay back. It's not free. But you get the start so you can start living. And I said, say you have the pride to build what you want from there. But because it's very low, very, very low income people.
What's that sound? It's like a bell ringing in the background.
No bell. Yeah. Because
that's so it's sound.
No, we don't have any bell here. Yeah. No, what I'm saying is that it's on a loan basis where the people will pay back over time. But they get the starter and they get the material to keep on building up front. So it's like a mortgage, really. It's like it's like you would have gotten a fully made house, but the only difference is that you are making what you want from the starter. And it was a World Bank funded project.
Is that thing still around? Is it still around?
What's that?
No, that's one of the side that having. That's what I'm saying. It and Operation Pride have no longer exist.
Okay.
That is one of the things
Hold on. Let's be frank and don't skip around the thing. Many of these things was one of the way all corruption and nepotism were taking place and political favor. So let us call a spade a spade. So therefore it become a handout for political favors and at least to kick back for many supporters. So let us not go around and skirt around the issue. So that's why we're saying the best scheme to work with now is the National Housing Scheme. Full stop. Right? Make a contribution, and so it doesn't look like a political thing. Right? Because there are many housing schemes in Jamaica that are politically aligned that we know that when certain political party is in power, people occupy them. When the next side come in, people are driven out of them, tell them to come out. And as a result of that, Franco, let us call a spade. Those were the schemes that illegal water and light have been going to, that people who pay the people know that NWC and JPS are saying that they are charging me money because of the illegal connection with this person. Let's call a spade.
That's what Flavor.
We don't need to go around the thing. Their political cronies live there, get water and electricity, and people who pay for electricity have to pay for that. That's what JPS and NWC are saying. No, they should have looked at it to say how best. But again, it's all about politics.
Yeah.
I have to protect my votes. It's just like when I sit down and I tell people, the hardline voters who come out and go to these conferences and everything, they have to be given favors. And that's why we talk about nepotism and cronyism.
That's what I guess.
Yes, I mean,
that's what
they can't come to my house and tell me to come out and come conference because I don't live in that kind of community.
That's what a viewer said a while ago. It's still happening. I know that for a fact. People
No,
are
it's
still getting house through their political views.
yes, you have to. No. That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, yeah.
You still have to get it because Franco, you still have to get it because of the same thing that we just talk about, nepotism and cronyism.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
the difference is there is certain areas, and let us call the spade a spade. And like I said, we talk the fact and we don't go around it. There are persons that are strategically placed within community that make sure that the political representative get back in office. And that is one way for payback for them. They don't make donation like large corporations.
So no in Jamaica, where are these the new side houses now that have been people are getting through NHT? What areas are
no, there are several. No. What they're trying to do now, which start makes sense. You try to push the what we call city limit outside of Kingston because Kingston is getting overcrowded. So one other thing that is happening, the landscape of Kingston now is looking up rather than spreading out. It's spreading up. Right. So one other thing that the Housing Trust is doing, which they are aligned with the roads that we have, is push the housing. It's like you live in the country, work in the city. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's like you live in New York and work in Long Island. And so in that way, you're able to spread out. I have more population. But the unfortunate thing that is happening is a double-edged sword. That many of our agricultural land, I don't know whether it's by design or by purpose, but many of our agricultural land are becoming housing schemes. Right?
All over
for example,
it's happening right here too.
Richmond Landui in St. Anne's. In Sugar Estate in St. Catherine, Grazing in St. Mary, and seven Estate in Clarendon. They are all agricultural land. They were all cane farmers' land, cane land.
It's happening same way here in Kingston 21.
Right, and what we have happening now is that when we use up those agricultural land for housing solutions, then it have a ripple effect. How do we feed ourselves? Yes, we're having a roof over our head, but there's no food on the table.
True. Yeah, man, they're doing it right here too. They most
so one of the things that we need to promote now, if we're going to do, then we have to go to the domestic agriculture production in this country. So the land space that you have at the back of your house, then you start to do short-term crop. The sweet pepper, the tomato, the scallion, and all of those things.
True thing that, man.
But the problem, Teddy, the problem is when we start to move up as opposed to out. Moving up, you have a greater density of people, but you don't have no land space to plant no onion and whatever the back of your yard because there's no back of your yard.
No,
So,
we learn. No. Hold on. We learning from the Israelis. you plant up. You don't plant flat. Come on. Many other people in the desert. What they think they plant? They plant up just like you live up. Yeah, that's it. When you have topsoil, you can get topsoil and you can plant it. You only need half an acre to plant tomatoes and sweet peppers and other things. Come on.
And they do it in a lot of cold countries.
Right.
They have the farmland up on top of the roof.
Yes, then that have been going on for years. You got greenhouse effect.
Mm-hmm.
Greenhouse farming, where yes, the sunlight coming, but it being protected from parasitic insects.
Mm-hmm.
Can you keep it covered?
Yeah.
So the solution to Jamaican problem isn't that difficult, gentlemen.
It's there, but is who going to do it?
No, we have to use forum like these, Franco, to educate and inform people. And that is what development is about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Michael Malley was saying. Read, become knowledgeable, so therefore you make informed decisions.
Mm-hmm.
For years, we make decisions on our belly. Remember the politics of yesteryear. Who feed them get the most votes?
They say the people them no want to wait neither they want saltfish.
There you go.
Remember that saying there?
Hmm? Yeah, man, that's the reality. No, Franco, the difference is that the average gentleman out there, let us put the average person, because we want to be gender neutral. They cannot argue on policies, on facts.
Mm-hmm.
They argue on emotion. Let us look at the facts. Look at any political meeting. Look how you stir up the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You don't tell them the facts. Huh?
It's true.
The platform that the politicians use is the same basic thing. We're going to give you a road. We're going to give you water. We're going to give you No, those are given.
Mm-hmm.
Those are given. You're supposed to have proper road to help with the development, meaning that you can move the produce from urban to from rural to urban.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? We should be thinking about solar electricity years ago.
All of that.
So when GPS is coming about a rate increase, we should be putting up solar grid right across the country.
Why them not start implement those things in Jamaica now? Solar panel and houses.
Yes, solar panel. No, solar panel. Quite a few houses. If you look around many schemes, you will see the solar hot water panel on the roof.
Yeah, I've seen it on one in Elsha.
All right,
Johnson.
What we want to do is simple.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 200 or 300 houses, wouldn't it also be ideal to put solar panel as part of the solar grid within a scheme?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, you're able to have electricity.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So you just look at it to see if you can just use the old stuff for all of these and interlock all of them.
And they could even make the plant in the scheme areas them too as well.
That's exactly what I am saying. You put them on the roof of the occupant, and so the occupant also benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a total grid within a scheme. So why put one panel just for hot water heater?
Are these suggestions people make to like JPS and to other private
No.
sector?
Hold on. JPS. Hold on. Franco, think about it. Why would JPS want to go solar and when they make their money from oil?
Well, after a while, I'll gonna get shot, So
no, we don't think about that.
Renew energy.
Alternative energy, renewable energy.
Mm-hmm, you have to.
No, they don't care about that, Virgin. Are you saying the same thing? Hold on. Are you saying that the Arabs who are selling oil and drilling oil, you can go to them with solar argument?
Well,
when they want you they want you to continue to be gluttonous of the oil,
them already
consume more oil.
Them already have
Yeah?
their resources. We have our resources too. We have the sun where we can capitalize on. So we need to start set those things up. You understand me?
Franco, the big mighty power, you are a consumer of their good. Will they allow you to set that up? The same argument that we started this morning with what Michael Manley was doing, and it was undermined by the big mighty America. Why you think they kill his policies?
That's why
So little,
that's why I was man of Virgin have a conversation the other day, and him say something where I agree with him with. We need to start get rid of the old politicians and from both parties. You understand me? All of them guys are there for how much terms, years, time for them go now.
hold on, Franco.
We need
Franco,
new,
can I just say
new
something?
ideas, eh?
No, let me answer that, Teddy. Let me answer that now. Franco. You not hearing me?
Yeah, man, talk.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
How old is Andrew Oldness?
Me not talk Andrew Oldness. Me born there before Andrew Oldness. Before Andrew Oldness come. Me talk all of them old politicians there.
But I'm telling you, he's a young politician with the same views as the old ones.
Me not talk Andrew Oldness, youngness. We need people younger than Andrew.
Franco.
Andrew supposed to go out in him 50s. I go in him 60s.
No.
No.
This is 40.
All right.
About
we
47.
need younger politicians. It's time for a change.
All right,
We need younger politicians, boss.
Franco. Having younger politicians is not the solution. If the policies, all right, let me put it this way: if the law of the land are still archaic, how is it that you're going to put in new laws without changing the old laws? Huh? The old laws has to change to match the modern time. And what we are saying to you, that many of the politicians, the policies that are in place, we need to change the policy to move forward.
But they're not going to do it. So better we get rid of them.
No. But what I'm saying to you, even if you bring in young people, the stigma and the roots is there, Franco. You
never know. We have to get a change somewhere, somehow. We can't say because them are go under the rules of the old.
All right, listen. All right, hold on, Franco. Case in point. Check this out. The same thing that I've been saying this morning. Andrew Holness has an opportunity to bring about a change. What did he say in his statement? What started the argument this morning?
This statement.
He went and blamed what happened in the 70s.
Because he was an opposition. He not gonna do it.
No. You missed the point that I'm saying to you. I'm saying to you. You said that we need new thinking. Isn't that what you said?
Yes. We need new bloodline, a politician. We don't need
new bloodline.
Yes.
Right. And so therefore, with Andrew Holness as a new bloodline, he should have certain thinking and not be thinking on divisive politics.
He's just only
That's the point I'm saying.
He's just only one. But I'm saying it's time for us to stop figuring because if the Flavius, we know exactly what you're gonna say. You're gonna say the old politician them already are growing the young one them. So when them come in, them gonna do the same thing. That's something that's not what saying to me all the while.
That's not what I'm gonna say, Franco. Let me say what I'm gonna say. Our becoming independence was flawed from the get-go. And the only way we can correct it and have any future is a complete rewrite of the Constitution.
And you think these old guys going to do it?
Hold on. The British left off something here under the quiet. Them come like JPS now, who put on the people money per hour bill now. The British left us the Westminster system. And nothing can change for the positive under the Westminster system. until we get a new rewrite and get rid of the Westminster system, we don't have any different way to go.
Who is going to rewrite it?
We have to rewrite it.
We who? We who?
Hold on, Franco.
And who are
No,
and we
Franco.
set of people?
No, Franco. The argument is the argument is that both houses have to agree on changing of the constitution because of the Westminster Abbey, the Westminster model. Sorry, you understand what I'm saying? So, if a change is going to come about to rewrite the constitution, to put certain policies in place, they have to move away from divisiveness to collectiveness. That's the thing. So, for example, we've been toying with the idea to put in a president followed by the prime minister, which is a Republican model, right? Now, whether the president is ceremonial to what happened with the governor general, or we said the president become political. That has to be a decision by both sides. And the point that I keep on saying, the greed, the selfishness, that is what's holding back the country.
And these are the
all right. For example, Franco, hold on. Franco, one of the things that I always champion is a coalition government. Take the best from both sides and form the government. Right? Don't, at the end of it, you do not have what we call an election, you reverse it. So here, what happened? We continue on a path of development and growth. What keep on holding back our country is the same thing that we discussed weeks ago. I put something in place and it working. You come now and form the government, and you destroy that idea because you want your legacy to be behind. And that is what holding the country. For example, let me give you a statement. Thiago was one of them who fight against the highway, talking it was foolishness, right? And it's not going to work and everything. But yet, a leg of the highway was Andrew Holness named a leg of the highway after him. The same one that he opposed. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Hey?
Yeah, man.
He opposed it, but at the end of the day, you name a leg of the highway after him. And no persons who were there instrumental in seeing it to go through, their name not even mentioned on the highway. Right? One of the UDC managers who was there from day one, him just being seen as a worker.
So
in order to bring about change, it's just like what we're talking about, the nepotism and the cronyism, right? In order for it to stop, it has to become a law in Jamaica, that it is criminal. Both sides will not sit down at the table and agree with it because it has political benefit.
Both sides have some member of parliament in an office right now. We've been in office since I was in Jamaica. And I think it's time for all of them to go. You understand?
If they were in private sector, they would have to retire.
It's time for them to go. And those are the ones I'm saying. Get rid of the old ones, them, and bring in new bloodlines. You understand me? Whether them in them 30s or them 40s, get rid of the old ones, them. Because they are the ones who are holding back the policies we're supposed to make. The rewrite of the Constitution and get rid of certain things. Trust me when I tell you that. So them need to go. Yes, them have to go. Them have to go. That's the only way a change is going to come.
No, but Franco,
the new ones don't guarantee anything better.
I don't care. I don't care.
Franco, it
You
cannot
wait.
be, no, Franco,
We
it cannot be
never-
ceremonial.
No, we
Franco,
never know what will happen. We never know what will happen. Those
Franco, it cannot be ceremonial, Franco.
Teddy, those might be the ones who might go with your ideas where where you just mentioned a while ago, where both parties take the best from each and put together and form a party, a government where work. But don't tell me say it can't happen. It can happen. A fate we have to
it can.
Yeah, Franco, let me tell you something. One of the newest people, I don't know if you heard about telephone business where a minister is racking up all $2 million for telephone call.
I hear that long time. How old him is? How old him is?
How old him is? He was the first MP, probably 20 odd. Yeah. 20 odd, 30 odd.
That no mean
and
nothing. He might just one. We can't get more. From both sides, them have some old guys who them been in office from about 1976, 72 until now. Them been in the party and them just a move from opposition to party, opposition to ruling government. No, them time for leave.
Yeah, them can leave, but that will not change anything, Franco.
You never know. You never know.
We have to have a resolve.
In 1972, they said the same thing. So Michael Manley is too young, him can't get elected, and he would never make no changes.
But Michael Manley, obviously Michael Manley was a special breed.
But we need that is in Jamaica. Special breeds are in Jamaica who have political views from the PMP and the JLP party.
Yeah, but them not joining
because a lot of us think the same way, so where it not gonna work because them already under the influence
all
of
right.
these old
Can I tell you
guys.
something? There's one guy in Jamaican politics that both sides like, but they will not give him a chance. His name is Damon Crawford.
Okay.
Damon Crawford said certain things, and it rattled the establishment. And so the best thing they try to do, they try to muzzle him. And so, because his thinking,
both sides.
Yeah, both sides. I tell you this, both PMP and JLP like him,
They like him, but they're afraid of him.
And you know what I'm saying? The JLP say in the wrong side. you understand?
And the PMP afraid of him.
Yeah.
But him's a man now, Franco. Him's a man now, whoever win should draft him in.
Yeah,
it shouldn't have nothing to do with the party that him join.
Yeah, but
you draft him in.
Yeah. They go back to the same thing that Franco was saying, that his new thinking, his way of looking at things is not going to be tolerated because many a time
who are blocking him? Are the older ones that are blocking him,
Yes, I agree.
Exactly. So that's what I tell you. So them have to go. We have too many.
Franco,
we have too many career politicians in Jamaica right now.
I don't disagree with you.
You understand me? And the constitution have to rewrite, and all of them policy they have to rewrite. And the only way it can rewrite, we have to have young minds, young blood. You understand me?
Franco, one great man.
What think outside
one great man who is not necessarily a favorite of mine summed it up greatly. Him say, scarce benefits and spoils. That is what I run things. That is what started all the problem, And the more the benefits scarce, and the more things get worse for the development of the country. Because man, I go to the boy, he want to take fee one. And it's not only in the country any form of politics, like in football, politics, in track, in everything. That is what them go by. Scarce benefit and spoils. What can I get?
That's the reason. That is a breed. That's what breed corruption.
Of course.
And although we put in place the Integrity Commission, the Contractor General, the whole of them are being muzzled. Because
the whole thing now, Franco. If you listen to the reports from the Petrojam, the man them was doling out $6 million all over the place to them friend them. The company, they're not putting the money back into Jamaica, you know. They must have give a thing here, a thing there, pure $6 million all over the place.
What was happening? The British give them, leave a template to them. Because if you look historically across countries that was run by the former colonial government, corruption is big thing. Look at it. Look at all where they were in Africa. Come on. Let's start.
Everywhere.
Yeah, they give them the template. They give them the template.
And
so we don't have to hide it.
When country decide to leave, Teddy, they come up with a thing named Republic. And we have to be careful about this word Republic, you know, because until I did some research a few weeks ago, I didn't realize that most of these countries that are Republic are actually Republic within the Commonwealth. That means that, you know, gone away. You see that the same government, all you do, you move the governor general and you put in a man they call a president that has no power.
Yeah.
And everybody feels you're all right because you're no republic. But you're still a part of the Commonwealth. You're still governed by them. I would like to make when we leave, we want to leave fully.
Yeah, comment somebody making at the chat room. Him say, she's a good leader. People don't really love them because they are strong and do what is best for the country.
But all leaders today, but everybody love them.
Well, him say a good leader.
No, you see the thing about if we look at the leadership, we don't have strong leaders no more. We don't. We don't. If you look around, let's call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? A leader that will stand up for against certain bullyism. Like look at what happened. If you stand up against the mighty America, you're being penalized and so forth. Manley did it and he bear the consequences. It's all a bully thing. The great defender of the world that go around and get involved in everybody's business. And not taking care of their own business at home.
True. Right?
They spread themselves across the globe in several different countries. See, Germany just saying to them that must come out.
Yeah.
Right? The next door, Cuba, here or so. Yeah, come on. If you stand up, it's just the same thing. And look at what happened. They have the opportunity now to silence you. But as Claude McKay said, if we must die, let us not die like dogs with our blood running in the gutters.
Yeah, man.
Yes, I mean, you must die for a cause. And that's what we're saying. And our ancestors have died for a cause for us to benefit today. As it's been said, I don't know, but it has been quoted. As Sam Sharp said, he'd rather die and go to the grave than live in slavery. So all that is happening today, we want to see a change, not just a selfish thing for ourselves, but for our country. I would like to know that I can live with and my doors open and I'm not going to be murdered, right? I'd like to know that I've been given the opportunity for self-development and the development of my country, right? I'd like to know that my passport, apart from the 80-odd countries that I can go without visas, I'd like to see that it goes up on that scale. That when I show it, when I travel internationally, doors are open for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to see. I like to know that we can feed ourselves as a nation. And so therefore the emphasis that being placed on domestic agriculture. So therefore we don't have to be holding our hands out for the big nation to feed us.
Mm-hmm.
As Manley once said, let us walk upright and not on our knees. And that's reality.
Mm-hmm.
Corona showed that we can survive. People were dropping down in Jamaica because they couldn't feed themselves.
That's true. Another viewer say, dependency model employed by politicians should be exposed.
Yes, no, they do it because you see the role of the politician. The role of the politician is I am your Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
You must come to me when you want. So you want books for your children. Why you think they do the back to school and the Christmas and the thing that you see me as the Almighty Savior?
Mm-hmm.
That is the thing that been indoctrinated into people's head. You talking in the community, where I go check the MP?
Mm-hmm.
If my granny dead, go check the MP for burial money. Me not have money for send the picnic to school. Go check the MP. The dependency syndrome.
Franco,
right? And then for years.
And that is why the politicians don't live where they govern.
True.
They must live somewhere, make them look bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, they introduced the CDA, the Constituency Development Fund, CDF,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's supposed to help with the development of the right? Now, that fund was supposed to be administered by independent minds across the constituency. That don't happen. The MP and the council control it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't sit on that board. You cannot sit on that board and say, let us look collectively and look at the needs of the constituency.
As you mentioned that, Teddy, I just have another question that does fly back in my head. Wasn't these member of parliament wanted a wages increase as well?
Oh, yes.
There you go. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And so the question being asked, if you give them a wage increase.
What I'm telling you.
We're going to keep that for next week.
And that Franco is on both sides.
I know. I saw the report, Yeah,
so they collectively agree.
I saw exactly. I saw the report. But we're going to keep that for next week. I'll give each of you 1 minute to wrap up. You go first, Ted.
No, all I'm saying, and I will say, continue with this morning.
Mm.
We have to move collectively to achieve one objective.
Mm-hmm.
That means a better Jamaica, not a divided Jamaica. And for too long, we have been on that path. The them and the us, the we and them. And it's time that we come together and for the benefit and put country over self.
Yep. Flavius, sir.
Okay, what we need to do now for Jamaica to move forward and the Caribbean to move forward, we have to do what we did not do when independence was thrust upon us. We need to sit down, meaning the two sides of the house and all everybody in Jamaica have to sit down and plan, do a proper plan for a proper independence. Because Jamaica needs to be independent, but we have to do the plan, looking at the money, looking at the political system that we're going to go through. We know from now that we don't want a Westminster system, and we don't want anything like that. So we have to, Jamaica have too many bright minds that we can write our political system for ourselves. That's what we need, but we need to do the proper planning. We did not do that in the beginning. That's why we're suffering for that now. So we need to spend a few years or a few months and sit down, the opposition and the other party and all the other parties out there, small parties out there, will come together and say, we're going to move in that direction. That's what needs to happen now. If not, we're going to be having this conversation for the rest of our lives.
Yes, and that's something I don't want us to be talking for the rest of our lives. I think
So we have to plan properly.
I think in order for all of this, Westminster change of system and everything to be in place, my opinion is we need more young people in both political party, and we get rid of the old guys them who have been there from 1976 until now, or 72 until now. I think them for them time over. We need new thinking, new blood. And with that, we come to an end. Another 2 hours creep up on us so fast. So we want to thank Teddy for taking time out and busy schedule this morning again, and for being here with us. Hope that you get.
It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Hope that next week we can touch upon the salary, because I saw this report from September of last year, and I was wondering, why is it these guys need more money, and at the same time they didn't even want them name to be exposed in the article, but
they say what they are getting now is pocket change.
Yeah, that's $3,000 a month. Them I get $3,000 US or more a month, and them can't live off of that. A joke, them a joke.
Nope.
A joke. So we want to thank all our viewers inside the chat room. I see Donna and Courtney there as well.
Yeah, very bright, vibrant today. Yeah, very bright,
and I want to thank
today.
those who never participate. And as always, welcome, to participate whenever you can. If you have a Gmail, remember Gmail account give you access to YouTube channel or your YouTube account. So once you click on the like button, it automatically, let you participate. Flavius, tomorrow we have the purple. Color purple.
Yeah, the purple, color purple.
All right,
purple.
Gentlemen, good. We talk next week.
All right, Teddy. Thank you.
Man.
So we have the purple color tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we're going to start down a road that is very exciting. Mm-hmm. We are starting with schoolboy football in Jamaica, and the team that is said to be the best team ever, schoolboy football team ever, will be coming and chatting with us tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So don't miss that. That should be very good.
How many players of the past coming tomorrow?
Probably 1 or 2, might be 3, but I think definitely 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as always,
tomorrow you'll hear all about the team and those days and what, and how it goes.
Yes, so my Floridians, take care of yourself. I don't think we are exercising enough distancing. I don't want to use the word social distancing. I just want to say distancing. Forget about the social. I don't think we're exercising. Yeah, we're not exercising enough distancing. So that's why, the rise of the virus in our state is at such a all-time high nationwide. But regardless of what you do, just make sure you take care of yourself. Wear your mask as best as you can. For those who think or figure they're infected, just go get a checkup, because you never know you might be spreading it as well. And as always, prayer do changes things, regardless of what religion you belong to. You must pray, continue pray until tomorrow. This is Franco along with.
This is Flavius, and Flavius is saying the big D. The big D in football, the big D is defense, but the big D for us is also defense. Discipline and defense. We got to defend ourselves, and we do that by being disciplined, wearing a mask, keep away from people. Make sure your home is secure and sanitized so you can be very comfortable at your house. And you try not to bring home anything to your family. So we have to be disciplined. So until tomorrow.
Take care of yourself and have a pleasant afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in. Tafina, to take us out.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know I said me if it could flee. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi hide like a thief in the night. Me I fi get out of sight. Me I fi take away myself. I fi take away myself. I have to utilize I weeds. Shorty I clean where I ease. I said, yeah. I find you very hard to resist. But this relationship I'm gonna desist. But how can I face you when all I wanna do is just taste you? I know you think I play me, I play, but soon you're gonna see the light of day. Just relax, don't move an inch. I'll be gone in a pinch. May I feel take away myself. May I feel take away myself. May I feel hide like a thief in the night. May I forget out of sight. May I feel take away myself. Take away myself. I have to utilize I weeds. Show the eye a clean pair of heels. I say, been there, done that, don't need it again, yeah. I'm not a masochist who won't play your game, yeah. To all you move, you off me way to the core. Sayonara, the hot girl gone through the door. Take away ourselves. Ah, You say no good body, girl, let me take away ourselves. Take away ourselves. No good body, girl, let me take
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless. Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.